Hello and welcome to everyone watching this video. Today, I am going to unveil my Premier League predictions for this year. Now, we have watched everyone play the first round. We are getting closer to the end of the transfer window, and so I decided, you know what? I'm going to jump in and I'm going to give you guys my ranking of where I think all the teams are going to finish in what positions, and then at the end of the year, when the season's over, we're going to look back on this and see how much I got right and how much I got wrong. And you know, probably not going to get any of this wrong. I'm going to get it all completely right. I mean, we all know who's going to win the Premier League.
You serious?
So yeah, so let me know in the comments below your thoughts on my prediction. Let me know your predictions down below. Smash that like button, hit subscribe as well. And without further ado, let's jump into this rankings of the Premier League for this season. Norwich City comes in at number 20th. I think they're going to finish bottom of the table. And why do I think Norwich are going to finish bottom of the table? It's real simple. I'm not going to lie. I just haven't seen anything that warrants them to stay up at all. No transfers that really make me go, you know what, that's a half-decent transfer for Norwich City. That could be the difference between them staying up and not. They look like they could lose Cantwell as well. There's a possibility he may leave, and that's just going to really rip their team apart because he's been, last time they were up in the Premier League, he was actually one of the bright sparks. I don't think they got enough going forward either, and it's just going to be like rinse and repeat of last time they came up. They're going to go straight up, straight back down again. So for me, Norwich City are going to finish dead last. Watford are going to come in at that 19th place. They are also going to get relegated. I just don't think that they're going to have enough going forward either. I think all it takes is a few bad results and Watford will sack their manager. They have done this relentlessly. They are worse than Chelsea when it comes to sacking managers and bringing new managers in. Well, I think they've gone through a total of something. They've had more managers than they did in years or something like that. Like they had like 9 managers in 8 years or something like that. Something ridiculous. I know when that last they were up in the Premier League, they had like 3 or 4 managers. They just kept sacking them. And I just don't see them having the strength up top to score enough goals to keep them, you know, surviving in the Premier League. And I don't think they have enough at the back to stop leaking goals. I think even though they won their first game and it was a good performance, I just don't think they're going to be able to carry it on for long enough. I think as we start getting past September, we're going to see Watford start to really just hit the roadblock and just start to lose quite a lot of points. And yeah, for me, they're just going to finish in 19th as well, going back down. Burnley, I think, are going to get relegated as well as the final relegation team in at 18th. Look, Burnley have somehow managed to stay in the Premier League without spending any money. Sean Dyche has done a fantastic job. I don't know why he's still there. I think he should be moved on. But he seems to find a way, with him and Chris Wood, they find a way to keep Burnley afloat all the time in the Premier League. But I think this season, they just won't be able to do it. I think this is the season where they get caught in that relegation battle. And I don't see them getting out of it this time. They don't invest in the squad enough to keep them relevant enough to stay in the Premier League for me now. I think they've treaded the line so closely, so many times, so many occasions, that I think finally Sean Dyche isn't going to be able to keep them afloat this time. And for me, Burnley are just going to go down as well. And yeah, so they're coming in at 18th. Southampton are going to come in at 17th. They are going to just survive relegation. They've lost Danny Ings up front, so that's their 15 to 20 goals a season, man, gone. Can Che Adams, you know, step up and start scoring those goals as well? I don't know. Adam Armstrong coming in. Is he going to be that replacement that they need for Danny Ings? It's a tough ask to do. Ward-Prowse, what's going to happen with him? Is he going to move on? I'm telling you what, he should be moving on. Someone should be snapping him up. Dead ball specialist. Oh, what a free kick that guy's got. He's a great player, and I think he's too good for Southampton now. They've also lost Ryan Bertrand, then at left back as well. I just think they're going to survive by the thin of their teeth. I think they're just going to make it. But it all depends on whether or not Adam Armstrongs and Che Adams can actually replace Danny Ings up top and score those 20 goals that they're going to need to survive. But I think they're just going to survive. They're going to have just enough firepower and just enough defense to hold everyone off. And they're going to finish in that 17th spot. Brentford are going to come in at 16th. I mean, they looked really good against Arsenal in the first game. They absolutely tore us to shreds. Tony, can he score the goals he did in the Championship in the Premier League? He was man of the match against us. Absolutely bossed it. He bullied our defenders, completely bullied them. That stadium, their fans, just that whole thing, the manager, everything about Brentford, you just want to love about him. And I think with the fans backing and being their first season in the Premier League, they are actually, I think, going to do surprisingly well at times, and then surprisingly, they're just going to flatline as well. But I think they're going to have enough to stay in it. And their recruitment for Brentford is absolutely brilliant. Like, look, Ollie Watkins, they sold him. They bring in another good striker in Tony, who continues that. They have a good recruitment there, and I think they know what they're doing. And I think they may be a Leeds or someone like that just stays in the Premier League, consolidates that mid-table mark. And I hope they do. I really do. It's awesome to see a new team come up and do well. So hopefully they do. For me, they're going to survive relegation, and they're going to finish in 16th. Brighton are going to come in at 15th. Look, Brighton are they're just a mid-table team, aren't they, right now? I mean, there's a few times they've scraped relegation, but I just think with like Southampton, Burnley and that, I think they are going to be the ones that are going to struggle more than this Brighton team. Brighton really lack the striker. That's what they're really missing. If they have a half-decent striker who can take the chances that they create, because they play really good football under Graham Potter. They play really good football. It's fun and entertaining to watch. I remember watching them last year against Manchester United, where they should have scored 6 or 7 freaking goals. They hit the post like 7 times. They play a good brand of football, but they lack finishing. That's what really hurts them. Now that Ben White's gone, their best defender as well, are they going to have enough? I think they will have enough going forward to scrape through and not get relegated. And I also think they have enough with Lewis Duncan that in the back line to stop enough goals so they don't get relegated. So for me, Brighton come in at that 15th spot. Crystal Palace, they come in at 14th. Mid-table team. I think Patrick Vieira, Arsenal legend, is going to struggle this season. He's real first, like proper in the Premier League. He's going to struggle. He's going to struggle. They do have some talented players though. They got what's his name, Zaha as well. They've got a good group of players that are talented enough to keep them afloat. But Crystal Palace always seem to manage to find themselves 15th, 14th every single season. And for that reason, I'm just going to put them here in 14th as well. So for me, Crystal Palace, 14th. Newcastle United come in at 13th. I think acquiring Joe Willock, who played absolutely superbly for them last season at the end when he came on loan halfway through. Getting him in, I think that's going to be enough. You still got, what's his name, Saint Maximin there as well, who's absolutely quality and really, really good. That assist he gave to Callum Wilson was just brilliant on the weekend against West Ham. I think if you can get Callum Wilson firing as well, I think you've got enough goals there and enough power moving forward as a strike force than anyone else below them in this list right now. I think their attack is a lot better than all of them. I think their defense can be better as well. I just think Newcastle with Steve Bruce are going to stay up. They're going to be comfortable, and that's why I've got them in at 13th. Wolves coming at number 12. I think they are going to struggle this year, more so than they have recently. Nuno's gone now. I think that Jimenez coming back is going to be a big, big boost for them, but it's whether or not he's going to come back as the Jimenez we knew before he got that head injury, because that is going to be the key. Getting a head injury like that is going to be very mentally testing for Jimenez, whether he goes up for another ball, because he was really good in the air, but once you crack your skull, I would imagine that mentally you're going to have that fear every time you go for a ball and you jump up. I think they're going to struggle, but I don't think they're going to struggle enough to be in a relegation battle. I know some people have them tipped in a relegation battle. I don't think they will. I think they still have enough quality. It all depends if Ruben Neves stays, and all that, and what's his name, Neto and Traore. If they all stay, they will have enough to be comfortable. That's why I've got them in at number 12. Leeds United, number 11. Why do I think they're number 11? I mean, after that game against Manchester United, they just literally opened the legs and just let United run straight through them. Absolutely straight through them. I mean, I've never seen a defense with so many holes. Well, I kind of have, haven't I? I mean, I see it almost every weekend. Why would I say that? I don't know. But anyway, United absolutely trounced them. But they do have this unbelievable playing style of just go for it no matter what. They will score a bucket load of goals, but they will let a bucket load of goals in as well. They'll either smack a team 4-0 or they'll get smacked 4-0 themselves. They're that type of team. I think they've got enough way more quality up top going forward than majority of the teams below them. So I think they'll be quite comfortable sitting at number 11. West Ham United will come in at number 10. I think they aren't going to do as well as they did last season. Last season they were absolutely brilliant, finishing in that European spot in 6th. I don't think they're going to do that again with European football now, playing in the Europa League. Having such a thin squad as well is going to hurt them. They could also really fall down far in the ladder. This is one that could go either way. They could either sit here in a decent spot or they could be in a relegation battle. They're not very large in squad size. If Antonio gets injured up top, they don't have another striker. They don't have another striker to play there. As a West Ham fan, you have to be worried about that. Souček and Rice, can they continue their form in that midfield of dominating and being those pivots that they need? Souček obviously scored 2 goals on the weekend, so he's back to where he is. They won, but what is European football going to be like for them? It's going to really stretch their squad. They're going to play a lot of games. We're going to see the effect of that. But I still think they're going to finish in 10th. I don't think they're going to finish in a relegation battle. Arsenal will come in at number 9. Yes, as an Arsenal fan, this pains me. Absolutely pains me that I think we're going to come this far down. After the game against Brentford, I just don't know. It's the same shit in a new season. It's the same as last year. I think Ben White was a good signing. Overpriced? Yes. English tax though, so you kind of expect it. But he is a good young centre-back that is going to be quality moving forward if he is able to realise his potential. So I think that's a good signing. But we need a lot more. We need another right back. We need an attacking midfielder desperately. I'm worried about Aubameyang right now because he's just not firing. He hasn't fired since signing that new contract. So I'm a bit worried about him as well. I just don't see where we're going to go. I don't see any fight, anything. Even with no European football, we should be completely... I'm going to be completely honest with you. I thought, cool, James Maddison. We get James Maddison. That boosts us completely. No European football. I'm thinking we can push for that 5th spot. I don't think we'll crack top 10. I mean, we might not crack top 10 at this rate. But that top 4, I don't think we'll crack it. But I do think we could have cracked 5th. But I just don't believe they're going to pull in those signings that we need. We need a world-class right back. We need a world-class midfielder. Why haven't we gone after Bissouma? I don't know why. Max Aarons from Norwich, just grab him, bring him in for right back. He's young, he's got a lot of potential, and he's a lot better than what we have. Get James Maddison, just fucking do it. They say we have $200 million to spend, and we're not spending it. You could get James Maddison, Bissouma, and Max Aarons, and then get a spare goalkeeper as well, because that's just a drama. I can't believe we sold Martinez for $20 million, and now Leno's just absolutely garbage. Should have kept him. But we should be able to get another goalkeeper as well. That should be easily... If we have $200 million sitting there to spend, we should be able to get all those players in. And then we go in, have a decent season, push for that European spot in 5th, and then we go again next year, bring in some more players, let some other players go. But I don't trust the board at all. I don't trust anyone. And at the moment, Arteta just seems way out of his depth. So for me, we're coming in at number 9. Tottenham Spuds are coming in at number 8. Yes, the Spuds are going to beat us again. They're going to finish on top. Look, I think they could finish below us or they could finish just above us. I think they're in the same situation as us. Harry Kane, I'm under the impression Harry Kane's going to leave. That's why I've got him down here. And I just don't think they're going to be anything electric or anything like that. And with the new Conference League, who fucking knows what's going to happen there. But for me, the Spuds are coming in just in front of us at 8th. Everton are going to finish in the 7th spot. They got a decent manager in Rafa. I think he's going to do wonders there. Whether or not the fans accept it or not is going to be another story. But I think he has all the tools to make them a solid side. Going to be better than Arsenal and Tottenham. I can tell you that right now. They're going to be better than both of us. I think they will. They have good talent. They have Richarlison. They have Calvert-Lewin up top as well, who score them goals. It's all about not making those defensive errors that they have been making, especially like last year where they were just making it. Then they did make one on the weekend as well. King just gave it away and then they scored. So I think they will have enough to get that 7th spot. It's just whether or not the fans accept Rafa. And I think winning Q is everything, though. So if Rafa is getting them firing and it looks like they can have a shot at the European places, the fans won't care. So for me, number 7, Everton. Aston Villa in at 6. I think they are going to get a European spot. Look, yes, they lost Jack Grealish. That is a huge loss. But I'm really been impressed with their signings to replace Jack Grealish. You've got some quality players that they've brought in. And I remember when I'm seeing these players come in, I'm like, what? Aston Villa are doing this? If they can build on the season they had last year, and these players can fire like Bailey, what's his name? The Argentine that just went. I can't remember his name. But if he fires as well, you've got a recipe there for success. I think Aston Villa are doing it right. They're investing in the right places. Obviously, they know what they're doing, and I think they're going to be rewarded with that. So I think Aston Villa are going to finish in 6th. Leicester City are going to finish 5th. Because that's just what Leicester City, they do. And I think you can't hate Leicester City. No one hates Leicester City. I don't. I don't think anyone does. I'm so envious of their club right now because the connection between the fans and the owners is what I want at my club. When they won that FA Cup, just that celebrating on the pitch with him, just everything about it, they just do things right, Leicester. They are just those underdogs that do it right and you root for them. But the question is, they need to start looking for a replacement for Jamie Vardy. He's getting on in age, and they can't just keep relying on his goals. He's not going to score 25 goals a season anymore. He's just not. He's physically not there anymore. Can they keep James Maddison? It'll be interesting to see if he does come. Hopefully he comes to Arsenal. But if he stays, Tielemans as well, they have to keep him there. Obviously the injury at the back there in pre-season was disgusting. And that's just absolutely dreadful for them. And he's a very young, talented player. But I still think Leicester City are going to have enough to finish 5th. I think they're better than the rest. So for me, Leicester City in at 5th. Manchester United are going to finish 4th. Bruno Fernandes, guy just seems to score and assist all the time. Pogba, absolute brilliant on the weekend as well, 4 assists. If they can keep France Pogba coming in every game, it's going to be a problem. I think Varane's going to be a good addition in the back line as well. Bringing in Jadon Sancho, brilliant as well. He's fantastic down the right. My only concern to why I don't think Manchester United are there yet for a title challenge or pushing the other 3 teams is that holding midfield position. I don't think Fred and McTominay are the people to do that. I think they still need a world-class holding midfielder. If they can get that before the window ends, they will mount a title challenge. But I just think that is the key area that they are missing. Matic is getting on as well. I think if they can address that, Manchester United would climb up my rankings as well. But unfortunately, I just don't think they're going to get anywhere near it with those players in that position. So for me, 4th, Manchester United. Liverpool are going to finish in 3rd place. I think they got Van Dijk back now. That's a big boost for them. Remember, they got every centre-back injured last year. They were down to the kids playing in the centre-back position. So they're going to get Gomez back. They're going to get Van Dijk. Van Dijk is a huge gain. It's going to be like a new signing for them. Whether or not he comes back as Van Dijk or someone else, it's going to be to see. We're going to have to wait and see for that. So hopefully he does, because that was a really bad injury. But going forward, can the trio up top with Diego Jota as well start firing again? They were a bit off. Mane and Firmino didn't have a very good season last year. But if Mane can get back to his best, I have no problems with Liverpool at mounting another title challenge. They have the players to do it. They have the squad to do it. They have the talent to push the top 2 all the way through to the title. It's whether or not they can stay injury-free this season and whether or not Van Dijk is back to Van Dijk. So for me, Liverpool coming at number 3. Chelsea are going to finish 2nd. I think Chelsea are going to be the ones to push First place, I mean, you all know who's going to come first anyway. They're going to push Manchester City to the title. I think adding Lukaku to this Chelsea squad, it's the final piece of the puzzle for them. I honestly think that. I think that's what they were missing. Werner didn't quite get a hold of what it was expected of him last season. He didn't score many goals at all. But his movement is fantastic. Every other asset of Werner's game is world class, except for the finishing. The finishing is absolutely dog awful. I think I can finish better than him. But he does open spaces for other players with his runs, his intelligence all over the place. His speed is always a factor. Add in Lukaku, who will score goals for this Chelsea team. He may even win the Golden Boot. He is a penalty box merchant. Get that ball into him in that box, he'll score goals. And I think that's the final piece they're missing. I would not be surprised if Chelsea do win the Premier League this year. I think they are the closest to Manchester City, and I think they are going to push them all the way. I think Havertz is going to have an absolutely monster of a season. Him and Mount, again, are going to be monsters. And Chelsea are going to push them. So for me, Chelsea finished second. Manchester City are going to win the Premier League back-to-back again. I think it's going to be like five in like 6 years or something like that. I think they're going to do it again. This is all because I believe they are getting Kane. They are going to get Harry Kane. I don't see a world where the transfer window ends and Harry Kane is not a Manchester City player. I think he is going to be a Manchester City player. If they get Harry Kane, it's everyone else's game to catch him. We might as well just give a trophy for second place, really. Because that's going to be so unfair. They already signed Jack Grealish as well, who I think is going to get better. The players, I wouldn't read too much into this first game because their players are just returning. They haven't trained together. They just went out there. You can tell they're not fully fit yet. But we all know what Manchester City are like. Once they get going and they get on a roll, you can't stop them. You just can't. And if they add Harry Kane to that with Jack Grealish as well, just give them the title. Just give them the title. I think they will. I think they'll win it again. They'll go back to back. Chelsea are the closest rivals, I think, to them to winning it. But it's all about Chelsea being consistent now over the 38 games. They really need to make sure they keep their foot on the throat at all times. I think in order to beat this Manchester City side, especially if they get Kane, you need to have a season like Liverpool. When Liverpool won it. You need to have a near perfect season to beat these guys. Because we all know what happened. When Liverpool were first, Manchester City just come out of nowhere. 14 games. Won all 14 games to win the title. We know they can do that. So in order to do that, you have to match that and do that extra. So whether or not they can do it, that's going to be another thing. But I just think Manchester City are going to go back to back. So that is my Premier League predictions. Let me know in the comments below. What did you all think of it? I will run through it again. So we have, in the relegation zone, we have Norwich in 20th, Watford in 19th, Burnley in 18th, Southampton in 17th, Brentford in 16th, Brighton in 15th, Palace in 14th, Newcastle 13th, Wolves in at 12th, Leeds at 11th, West Ham in 10th, Arsenal in 9th, Spurs in 8th, Everton in 7th, Aston Villa in 6th, Leicester City in 5th, Manchester United in 4th, Liverpool in 3rd, Chelsea in 2nd, and Manchester City as champions at the end of the season. So let me know in the comments below your thoughts and your rankings as well. Smash it down there. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.